TikTok, 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 TikTok. How many times can you say TikTok, 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 TikTok? It's the Scandalous Scandal recap. This is the Scandal season 6 season finale episode. Welcome everyone to the Scandal recap. I can't contain myself. I hope that you can't contain yourself too, because I was just telling Janiyah, I can't believe that we have come to another season finale of Scandal. Furthermore, I cannot believe the content of tonight's episode.
No.
Shout out to everyone in Shondaland, to every operator of a ride, to every concession stand worker, to everyone selling merchandise, to even the ticket takers at Shondaland. We are so grateful for everything that you've done this season for Scandal, because you have prepped us for an epic ride for season 7. I'm Larry Brown Jr. Welcome to the Scandal recap, where we recap our one of our favorite TV shows to watch live immediately after the East Coast broadcast. And we have our own lexicon. We ask that you join in. If you're watching us in live chat, we're so glad you can be here. If you're watching us after the chat has gone off the air, well, welcome. We're very sorry you missed us live, but leave a comment in the video and we will talk to you in season 7. I'm joined as always by my fantastic friend, the Janiyah Wright. Janiyah, how are you tonight?
LDJ, let me just say, my mind is a balloon. Okay? That episode, it was so good. It was so well done. Oh my gosh, LBJ, there was an interview Kerry Washington did on Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And she said in that interview, I can't believe where my character ended up at the end of this season. And LBJ, I tell you, listen, heads rolled tonight, LBJ. And the chat is ready to discuss. Oh, the chat is so alive right now. We have a Catherine Belger. Monuments Humans is here. LBJ Coffee Light and Sweet. Tall Delta 55. Of course, Idom Matrix, our Scandal recap family. Oh my goodness. Dan Blakemore is here. Kat Harlem. Rakira. LBJ, look at the chat. Everybody's here.
Everyone is here and everyone is live. Love Prince Nelson is here. Tiffany Franklin is here. Miss L is here. Pla Turner's here. Mrs. Creole Davis. Robin B12. Coffee Light and Sweet. Normina's Harmony. What's up, Normina? We want to bring you in, but I see you had to do some work stuff tonight, so you might still be watching the episode. Deborah Battle is here. Marvis to Marvis is here. We've got, of course, Janiyah is here. Larry is here. Candace is here. Grayson is here. My family is here. My mom is here too, I think. I think it's my mom's Google name as well. Everyone is here tonight.
Miss L, LBJ, Grace is here.
Leander Coke, yes.
Yes,
yes,
Leander
absolutely.
Coker, Deborah Battle, Shar 90303, LBJ, everybody is here. So you know what that means. That means it's time to get started, LBJ. It's time to go.
It is time to go. Listen,
I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know how
we're going to do this. We're going to do this like we always do this. We always say, if you're watching live or if you're watching afterwards, please use the hashtag Scandal Recap. That's at the bottom of the screen right here, as well as on the bottom of Janiyah's screen. We're so glad that Google brought back the lower thirds. And share the conversation tonight. Invite a friend to participate in the Scandal Recap, especially if they watched Scandal and especially if they've been texting you tonight. This is the last time we're going to have to talk about Scandal until the first episode of the last season of Scandal. What are you waiting on? Tell someone right now they need to watch the Scandalous Scandal recap.
LBJ, let me tell you who's not waiting. We have a newcomer in the chat, LBJ Matthew Miles, joining us for the first time. Welcome, Matthew. We are so happy you're here. You picked the right night to get started with us, LBJ.
Yeah, Matthew is here. Akosa is here. JW is here, as well as Tommy Wilson. Listen, we are so grateful for all of you. This
Christina Peel. Oh my goodness.
This is
Robin B12. Oh gosh, it's so good, LBJ.
I cannot believe it. I had to dismiss myself from the room with our newborn because I was like, oh, Olivia, and Candace is looking at me like the baby is asleep. I'm like, I should probably go to another room.
Yeah,
So I have like, I'm in a
LBJ, I
bunker
have
right
to-
now, like
yeah.
underground. So B613 can't get me because B613 is alive and well right now. We need to jump
LBJ,
into this episode.
before we do, I must put you on blast. Guys, normally before the chat starts, me and Larry will have like a 1 minute just, hey, how you been? How was your
Oh
week?
gosh.
You know, boy, wasn't that episode great? Like that's generally what our prep is, right? It's about 60 seconds
have
of
no
chit
prep.
chat.
Yeah, we have no prep.
But tonight we didn't have 60 seconds of chit chat. Tonight we had 60 seconds of Larry screaming. He literally he opened up the chat and just screamed for a minute, like ah. So we don't even have the little bit of prep we normally have. So LBJ, let's get started. Let's get started.
So I have been watching this thing like the screams that you all have been getting are the same screams that Janaya has been receiving. Listen, if you want to be a part of tonight's conversation, shout us out in the chat. Let me know so we can bring you in and we will bring you up on the screen live. It's the season finale episode. We want to see you. We want to hear from you. We always read your live chats. So if you're watching live, let us know you want to be a part and we'll bring you into the conversation. Janaya, let us kick off the episode tonight. We begin Scandal, the TikTok episode. Transfer of Power, season 6, episode 15 of our favorite show, one of our favorite shows to watch on television, Scandal. And we are in the sit room. We're in the situation room with Jake, Papa Pope, and Olivia, and they are tracking Mama Pope. And it looked like one of the lecture halls from How to Get Away with Murder, by the way. So shout out to the set crew who had to transfer a small lecture hall into a control room. But they're looking for Mama Pope. They finally roll up and they are tracking Mama Pope. They see that Mama Pope has been we see all the stuff that's going to be taking place leading up to it. And then what do we see? We see Mama Pope in a hotel room. And she is in there. No, they go to Mama Pope's place. That's what it is. They're tracking her. They find her. Rowan says, take her. They go to take her. Mama Pope is nowhere to be found. That's what happened. Sorry. We've had two episodes condensed into 2 hours of Scandal tonight. So I am talking super duper fast. Remember the Micro Machine Man? Any guys used to watch the Micro Machine Man on TV and he used to be like, hey, welcome to the Micro Machine Man. I'm Micro Machine Man. Watch the Micro Machine games and the toys, the Micro Machine. I'm going to be talking like that all episode. So keep up with what I'm saying. Because I'm TikTok. Like we've got to get everything out tonight. So Mama Pope is nowhere to be found. They start to try to figure out what Mama Pope is up to. They see that in her place that there is a parade route that shows the route that Mellie will take, that normally every president in Scandal World takes for their inaugural parade. And then there is the name posted of a man named. His name is H. Fenton. We learn that H. Fenton's name is Harold Fenton. They track and trace Mama Maya Pope to Harold Fenton. Harold Fenton is in a hotel room. Mama Pope is getting to get down with the get down. She is using her nectar factor with this young strapping man who has a gun on the side of his pants, and she's trying to reach for the gun in the front of his pants too. And she's like, "Oh, what's that? Are you happy to see me?" He's like, "Oh, that's just my happiness on the side of my body. Let's get you the happiness in the front of my body." And she takes out the gun and she's like, "Hey, I got your gun. Would you take a bullet from me?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Are you? What is this that you're putting on me? Are you putting this nectar on me that I've heard? Is this the essence of something? What's going on?" And he's like, "I don't know." And so all of a sudden we hear, who's at the door? H. Fenton goes to the door. Harold Fenton goes to the door, and who's at the door? It's Jake. And Jake is like, "Harold, what are you doing here? So nice to see you. Harold, please go home to your wife." He's like, Harold, go home to your wife. Jake walks into the room. Mama Pope sees Jake. Jake sees Mama Pope. He's like, "Hello." She's like, "I know you." And he's like, "Take her." And all of a sudden, people come out from the ceiling. They come out from the closet. They come out from the bathroom of the hotel room to take Mama Pope into custody. Janaya, what was going through your mind at that moment?
LBJ, I wondered if they were going to drag it out in the episode. At the end of last week, that's where we were. We saw Maya Pope on the run. We just didn't know how we were going to get her. We didn't know when we were going to get her, but we knew that OPA and the White House and B613, everybody had come together to try to find her, LBJ. It was all parties coming together, all hands on deck to find to find Maya Pope. And LBJ, I just was so happy when the episode opened with it, and they didn't keep us in suspense. So LBJ, I was just happy to see her at the top of the episode because I said, "Oh my God, she's gonna be with us the whole 2 hours," and it just made my heart full. I was so excited. And LBJ, what I loved about it so much was that it was Candy. I'm sorry, I keep wanting to call her Candy, LBJ. It was Maya, LBJ, in the act of seducing a man. And why that's so important, LBJ, is that the Maya that we know, she's a Maya that pulls the string. She's a Maya that pulls the trigger. She is not a Maya that serves herself up on a platter. And so we knew right then, LBJ, she was doing something a little bit different from what Maya would do as business as usual. So for me, LBJ, I felt like it was a foreshadowing. I thought it was great. Great way to open the episode. And you're on mute. LBJ, I think you're on mute. I cannot hear you. Well, you know what? I'm going. Can you guys hear Larry? Okay, LBJ. Because I cannot hear you, I'm going to have to assume that nobody else can hear you, and I'm just going to have to chat. Please tell me, is Larry gone for everybody else? All right. You know what, LBJ? Let's just keep going. You get your sound together. Yeah, everybody's saying you're on mute. Okay, so the first scene is Jake apprehending Maya with all of his associates. And so then the next scene, we see Olivia and Mellie together. And what are they talking about? They're talking about the reality of the fact that the premise for Maya Pope's presence in Washington, D.C., as far as we know it, is attached to the presidential parade route. So, of course, our current operating assumption is that Maya is here to kill Mellie, to assassinate Mellie. And so we see Olivia and Mellie having a come to Jesus moment. That's what we call it. We call it a come to Jesus moment when you really just have to get down to it, get out of denial, and talk about the truth of the matter. And Olivia is saying to Mellie, girlfriend, someone's trying to kill you. My mother may or may not be the one who is the decision maker behind all of it. And in the event that she isn't, even though we have apprehended her, it may be the best idea for you to find a plan B for your inauguration. We don't know if it's the right thing to do for you to be standing up there. We see what happened the last time the president-elect got up and wanted to give a speech. Well, it didn't go very well, did it? No, Frankie Vargas, he gone. And so we see Olivia and Mellie having that tough conversation. And Mellie, of course, is very hesitant for obvious reasons. She is the first female president of the United States of America. Does she want to hide it under a bushel? No, she wants to let that light shine. And so it's just so, it's mixed emotions for all of us because we want her to live. And LBJ, you are missing it so much because the chat is just loving it right now. It's so interesting to watch this Olivia Mellie dynamic right now. They have been through so many seasons. I mean, seasons of hating each other, seasons of resenting each other. And now, at the end of the day, Olivia really is Mellie's most trusted resource. Not only is Olivia going to be her chief of staff, Olivia truly is Mellie's only friend. Let's just go ahead and say it. People don't like Mellie. She gets a sad trombone. Nobody really likes Mellie. For people who are new to our chat, we often give people a sad trombone when there's an inevitable truth about them that nobody wants to talk about. Yeah, so Mellie, you do get the sad trombone. You have no friends except for Olivia. And we can all recall from the last episode the huge sacrifice that Olivia made to be there for Mellie. She gave up OPA and Associates. Now, am I overstating perhaps by calling it a sacrifice? Possibly, because at the end of the day, we all know that Olivia's eyes are on the White House, right? But LBJ, you're back! Yay, we missed you.
Check a 1, check a 2, check a 3. I had to go kick those people out behind me. The B613 people were knocking on the window.
They were trying to get you.
It was between the Russians and B613. They muted my microphone. I saw it go to mute. I was talking. People are texting me like, we can't hear you. Y'all are blowing me up in the chat. You're talking about nobody cares about Mellie. I'm following the chat.
LBJ, you got a sad trombone too from Grace. She said LBJ is on mute. LBJ, you also got a sad trombone.
This is my face.
Listen, we're happy to see your face.
That's my reaction to you, Grace. Okay, thank you.
No, we're happy to see your face with sound coming out of it. So that's great. We'll take it however we can get it, LBJ. And we were just getting to the part where we were talking about, the fact that, one of the great transitions that happened at the last episode was Olivia walking away from OPA and putting OPA in the hands of who? None other than the worst ever. # she's absolutely the worst, but people seem to love her for some reason. Quinn. Okay.
Everyone throw a tomato at Janiyah.
Quinn Robin Lizzie has taken over OPA, and we get a chance to see her, getting into role. LBJ, she's redecorating. She's brought in furniture. Okay, she's buying photographs. Okay,
but here's my question about this entire thing. Quinn is now leading OPA, but do we still call this thing OPA or do we now call this QPA? She is running the shop at the PA. You're from PA. What do you say, Janiyah?
LBJ, well, you've come to the right place with this, because you know what? It doesn't matter who's running the day-to-day at, the Hilton Hotel. You still call it the Hilton, don't you? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the founder's name remains on the business. Olivia, that is her vision, LBJ. That is her energy. And at the end of the day, she is the inventor of the white hat. Now, has she thrown that white hat away, probably burnt it at this point? She has. But that founding principle, LBJ, that lives with OPA and Associates. And it's now, the mantle has fallen to someone else to keep it up. But LBJ, you don't change the name. And people want me to let the hate go. Rakira's saying, let the Quinn hate go. Rakira's over it. She's telling me to get over it. Well, you know what? I need some more time. Okay?
No, you don't need more time. What you need is time to jump on this paddy wagon, okay? If not, because you should not be too proud to beg, like TLC said. Join the paddy wagon because I ain't too proud to beg, Janiyah. Quinn Robin Lindsay, I have been on her team since season 1, episode 1. We have seen this woman evolve. We've seen her go from a caterpillar to a butterfly. She is the quintessential scandalous scandal jam session, or scandal jam session that I like to say. Remember, Aretha Franklin's one of the main artists, always using scandal jam sessions on the show. And I feel that they need to talk about Quinn and when she has his baby, because she's going to be a single mama out there in these streets, I think. And she needs to be Aretha Franklin, Lauryn Hill in the garden with the piano. And she's like, honey, a rose will always still be a rose. A rose, it's still a rose. Baby girl, you're still a flower. That is Quinn Robin Lindsay at this point. She is going to need her life fixed from some kind of Iyama character after this is all said and done. Do not hate Janiyah. She needs your support at this point. So I think that if you can't join, we'll have to figure out a way to talk about Quinn Robin Lindsay and mute your microphone and let the Russians or the B13 come and take your data away so that you can't participate like they just got me.
Now, LBJ, you know what's so interesting? People are calling it out in the chat. You're right. I do need to be here, not just for Quinn, but also for just that actress, because she's pregnant for real. I mean, you can just see it all in her face and in her body.
Exactly.
There are no, body, prosthetics that are going to get you that exact kind of rounding out that's happening with that actress right there. So she's pregnant for real, LBJ. And people in the chat are saying, well, maybe they're going to use it. Kosovo was saying, I guess they're going to use her pregnancy on the show. Maybe so, because she's clearly showing out with it. Before they said it, I was like, we've got another pregnant actress on OPA, on Scandal. And LBJ, right after we see Quinn redecorating her office, we're watching David and Eli and Jake. They're preparing to go in and get Maya. They then go in and get her, LBJ. And then she is where?
Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. Rowan, you know our daughter is caught up in that mess. Shouldn't you be protecting Livy, Rowan? Oh, no, Eli. She calls him Eli.
Yes,
Have
she
you noticed that she
does.
calls him Eli and not Rowan? Talk about what happened there. So Maya Pope, I'll lead you in. Maya Pope is locked up now. She's chained and shackled, potentially about to be symbolically tarred and feathered by her husband. And on the other side of a glass screen, a dark glass window, a two-way mirror, we see Olivia, her daughter, and Eli, Rowan, her husband, ex-husband, looking at her. And she's rocking back and forth, singing this freedom song, trying to figure out what to do and why they got her in here. She's itching because she has a job to complete, and they don't know that she has this job to complete. And she is like a full-on fiend, like from one of her characters from, what was it, The Wire, that she was on HBO. She looked like full on, like,
oh,
I'm on the corner singing this song. And it was really great to see all of this because she knew how to connect with Eli. She calls him Eli. Remember, she doesn't really call him Rowan. She calls him Eli. She knew how to connect with that man. And Olivia had no clue of what was going on because a lot of this stuff is just a cloud in her mind. So we see her doing this, and she tells Eli, she said, you're wasting your time. She said, things are going down the drain. She does this full monologue to Eli, Janai, and I really hope that you're prepared to do this. You know, I perform week after week after week after week as Rowan, and you know, as well as all of us, that you need to have, you need to wear a costume in Shondaland. So here's your opportunity to wear a costume in Shondaland. Please deliver the monologue that I called, the Tell 'em Why You Mad Ma monologue from Mama Maya Pope to Eli Rowan Pope on the other side of that screen. Take it away. Okay, here's your cue. Tell old Pharaoh
to let my people go. You know, I don't know why we're always there for these men. You know, maybe it's just the Black woman's burden. You know, they give it to us. We just keep taking it and taking it. You know, anything you do, you know, we just give you love in return. We're here to support you. We're here to love you, build you up. And then what do? You turn on us. You resent us. Okay. And we're left there to pick up the pieces every single time. And why do we keep turning back and taking more? I don't know. You tell me. Some call it admirable, but I don't know. Maybe we're just fools. But I will tell you this, I trusted you with one thing, and that was to take care of our daughter. And you are not here for me, and you are not here for her. And so you tell me why I'm here, Eli. Why am I here? Why am I always here? Why are we always here? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And LBJ, she went back to the TikTok. And LBJ, it was so good. And I'm going to tell you why it was good. LBJ, we watched her, LBJ, exercise a coping mechanism, right? She has been in solitary confinement.
Yes.
Okay? So her sitting there, entertaining herself, talking to herself, LBJ, she did that in the bowels of the justice system for a long time. So I don't know what Eli thought he was going to do. She was going to run out of things to say. But LBJ, she's friends with solitary confinement. She was not at all in a strange land.
She wasn't in a strange land. What I loved about that monologue, Janai, was also the fact that she kept doing this whole TikTok, 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 TikTok thing. And then there was this turning point in this monologue where she snapped, and Rowan knew that there was going to be a turning point when she would snap. And he predicted just that. And we had this opportunity to really hear this plight of this Black woman who has been holding all of this together.
Yeah.
Of all of her Black womanness, plus the darkness that she deals with. And we got to hear her drop, buzzwords like Black girl magic. And she talked about women carrying baggage and how she had to carry the baggage of the man while she supported this man and pushed him to the top while she had to deal and dumb down and do what she needed to do to get to the top after he had already reached
That's right.
the capacity there. And I think that probably resounded with a lot of of women here on this scandal
Yes.
recap, like it did online on Twitter. Twitter was a buzz
Yes.
after that monologue there. I mean, women
Because
both.
LBJ, it was once again Shonda using her platform. And LBJ, you called it, what did you call it? Because I had a different name for it. What did you call it?
I called it the "Tell 'em Why You Mad Ma," and I don't mean, and I mean Ma. I'm using Ma as the colloquial version of Ma, and as Ma as in mama. Ma. Like I'm using it's a dual purpose for Ma.
LBJ, do you know what I called that monologue
What'd you
in
call
my
it?
notes? LBJ, I called it the Black Woman's Burden, LBJ. But you know what?
Let my people go. Oh, it is
LBJ.
when black girl was in black man's land. Let my black girls go.
And you know what? This is a burden that I believe all women share. There is a universal giving in women, and it's part of how we're socialized for sure. But there's also something innate there that just forces us to forgive and to forget and to give it another try. And LBJ, let me tell you, I think every woman, black or white, or any woman of any nationality has found herself at some point in time sitting in a corner singing the Negro spiritual, because you just don't know why you keep finding it within yourself to put others first when you know you should be advocating for yourself. And so LBJ, let me tell you, this was once again Shonda using her platform to get a message out there. It's something that people are not talking about, LBJ. But when does selflessness go awry? That's what she was raising, LBJ, and that was Iyanla coming in to fix all our lives. Okay,
because that was Shonda coming in to add to our lives. I mean, first of all, Janiyah, we need to give you a shout out. We need to give you a mini applause, round of applause. Because people are shouting you out for your interpretation of that monologue. Leander Coker has the hands there. Miss L has it. She said she wants to post an emoji applause for you. Grace is giving you medals, comedy, tragedy. She's giving you all kinds of Image Award trophies and Oscar trophies. Brooks, Mrs. Creole Davis, all of that. They said you even gave the Black Girl Magic, Janiyah. One of the things, speaking about this whole Black Girl Magic moment, though, I think that, and people love your title of Black Woman's Burden for the monologue as well. So shout out to you with that. But one of the things I think that's really key to point out in this conversation is that we saw here this being not just Olivia being a connection with Mama and Papa, but we saw that Mama still knows what makes him tick. Papa still knows what makes her tick. Remember, he said, nope, let her keep going. And she's tick-tocking. I think I need to stop that before I start doing that. Mama Pope was on a full 752 moment. And I was like, shout out to every trained actor and actress in America and the world today, because that is a full on. She killed it.
Oh, killed it dead. It is dead, LBJ, because she killed it.
It is a full-on diction exercise that she showed us there. And having taken acting classes before and having received training, I know how difficult that is. That's how I'm able to sit here and fast and say to you like the Micro Machine Man, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick. And that sound like, and you hear the K and the C and the T and the I and the O and all of the words that I'm saying there. There's skill behind that. So shout out to her for exemplifying the training that she received. But moreover, shout out to the character for connecting to Papa Pope. Do you remember the fact that she said to him, let me guess, what them white folks got to you? She knows that he does not like that. And have we not seen every single week when he says, when Rowan's like, do you want me to shine your shoes? You want me to read your news? You want me to shuck for you? You want me to jive for you, master? What you want me to do? Like, he cannot. Rowan Pope is of that mindset of, these white people out here don't want you to succeed. These white people, he could do a whole episode on what these white people don't want you. Not these, but these white people don't want you to do.
Because LBJ, his generation.
He probably still whispers when he's out in public. That white man over there. I have members of my family who still whisper that too. Terrible.
Because LBJ, there is a generation that is alive right now, and it is our parents, LBJ. There is a generation that experienced much more overt racism than we experience nowadays. You know, right now we suffer through institutionalized racisms much more than anything else. But there was a time not so long ago, LBJ, where you would get the slap in the face just right there on Front Street every day, every single day. And right now, we can go a couple days before somebody makes you say, "Oh Lord, here we go again." But LBJ, you have to remember, Papa Pope's generation. Every single thing that he did to survive and to thrive and to move up through ranks, LBJ, he was having to make concessions. He was having to allow himself to be abused. That was the only way. And then he also had to be excellent. That was the only way he was able to rise through the ranks the way he did. So does he carry around a little bit of, crap on that shoulder? He does. He's got a chip or 2 or 5,000 on that shoulder. But LBJ, he earned that chip. I mean, that generation has earned that chip. And LBJ, on the topic of chips, the next scene, we see Quinn and Charlie, and Charlie's coming into Quinn's office.
But wait. Don't forget, we had the mention of the vacation at the end of that whole moment. We mentioned the vacation in Ocean City with the crabs and things like that with Mama, Papa, and Olivia. Continue with the QPA.
Thank you, LBJ. You're so right. You're so right. We cannot forget that in addition to Eli Rowan Pope and Mama Pope, really reminding each other that they know who each other are at their essence. Mama Pope conjured a special memory, LBJ, and it was their vacation at Ocean City.
And you can come back to that later. That's perfectly fine.
She conjures up that vacation, LBJ, and she conjures it up as a special time. And the reason she did that, I'm so happy you reminded us of that, LBJ. The reason she did it was because there she was, LBJ, being exactly the thing that she talked about in her monologue. She was there, shackled, LBJ, by this man, but still something in her wanted to have a moment of commonality with him and remind him of the good times. That's what we're talking about, LBJ. That's the burden. And so we watched her there real time, still wanting to have a level of emotional connection with this man. And LBJ, Charlie is looking for his emotional connection with Quinn. We see him struggling with this new dynamic, LBJ. We see, and I thought he was going to have trouble with it. We see Charlie coming in now to Quinn's office that she's now decorated and is looking all Quinnish. And Charlie's coming in, he's saying, calling her boss and really struggling with the dynamic. And he just says it right out there. He says, "What are the rules now, Quinn?" He was like, can we still be affectionate at the workplace? What about our wedding? Why aren't we planning the wedding right now? LBJ, what did you think of the way Charlie was handling all of this?
So as Charlie was handling all of this, I really do think that Charlie is still someone that we need to watch. There's something about Charlie that I'm just not trusting. Charlie he's yielding too easily in this process. And I think that it's painting the perfect picture, if you will, for the happy ending for Charlie and Quinn. Quinn and Charlie don't deserve the happy ending. So there's got to be some kind of conflict that comes out of all of this as a result of the news that Quinn is going to deliver later in the episode. So I think that Charlie is definitely playing into this whole I'm not totally invested in this thing, because remember, Charlie also said he doesn't know what this is going to be like to be dating the boss, engaged to the boss, and ultimately married to the boss. So I'm not really trusting of Charlie at this time, and really not at this time, nor throughout the duration of the episode. Every time we see Charlie in
and people in the chat,
QPA as well.
People in the chat agree with you, LBJ. Rakira is saying, I don't think we will ever trust Charlie. Monuments Humans is saying Charlie was just being a man who wants his woman to be docile. Idon Matrix agrees with you. She says, I so agree with you, LBJ, about Charlie. Coffee Light and Sweet is chiming in and saying, Larry Brown Jr., I agree. Charlie is hiding something. Still no explanation as to why he is working at OPA/QPA. Oh, Lord, we done added the Q. LBJ, the chat agrees with you that there really is something that we need to keep our eye on Charlie. Now, Marvis to Marvis, she says, I like Charlie, but I got to tell you, I have mixed feelings about it. I have not been one of the people in the chat that's been adamantly questioning Charlie. I have wanted him to be in his period of redemption, Now, of course, I have thought of his redemption as fragile, right? I thought if he gets scorned in some way, he's back to the dark side with no hands down. So I have been worried about that. but I have also thought that he's been genuine in trying to turn over a new leaf. I've thought of Charlie in the way that I've thought of Jake. When Jake was looking for, the sunshine with Olivia, just wanting to say, in my essence, I'm a horrible monster. I know that, but let's go somewhere and try to be different. So I have wanted to believe Charlie's redemption. But you know what? We'll see. We'll see. And we actually get to see Olivia come in and enter the dynamic. While Quinn and Charlie are having their struggle with their new dynamic, Olivia walks in and she essentially hires OPA to help them to explore what's happening with Candy. She basically says, listen, are you guys up for this task? I need you guys to look into who paid Candy or who did Candy pay, and help us to kind of unravel the mystery here of why Candy was monitoring this parade route. Was she about to kill Mellie? And if that is the case, what's the rest of the plot and who was in on it? And so LBJ, there was a very important moment right at the end of that scene. And it was as Olivia, she had given this assignment to OPA and Associates, Quinn and the team, they're getting rolling. And Huck walks Olivia to the elevator and he checks on her. And he says, are you all right? And she says, yeah, I'm fine. My father's going to take care of it. He's command. And Huck reminds her, your father and command, those are two separate entities, he said. They are not one and the same, and you need to be careful. LBJ, I love that. I love that message. I love that it came from Huck. I thought it was very important. LBJ, did you feel like Huck was giving us a little foreshadowing there?
I think that Huck was definitely giving foreshadowing, but I also think Huck is also like dealing with some kind of separation anxiety, because Huck is now going through this process of knowing that Olivia potentially could not be in OPA, former OP, now QPA. And he's like, okay, I need to find my end with continuing communication with Olivia. And he's testing the waters. He's testing the waters this entire episode. And he needs that reassurance that he can always go to Olivia. Mm-hmm. Remember, Olivia is Huck's baseline. Olivia is the reason why Huck can be Huck and not wake him up. If you will. I feel like I'm Dr. Seuss tonight. I have been rhyming with the PA and the OPA, the QPA. You're from PA, and now Huck has to be up, and everything else is going to be run amok. I don't know. You tell me.
LBJ is so good because you are a poet, LBJ. We have enjoyed your poetry every single scandal recap, LBJ. So you have to just keep it coming. And LBJ, this is actually the point in the episode where we watch Maya. She's still in the bowels there. LBJ, tick tock, tick tock.
And let's talk about these bowels though tonight. Was this really the bowels, or was this some kind of like facade setup? But did you notice how this whole bit was set up? Like, that Maya was brought into this room. There's pitch black dark around them. Yep. They gave the room. They gave us like a drone shot to see that there was this bunker bit made up, right? And it's lit around and on all four walls, this perfect square that Maya is sitting in. She's chained, mind you. She's in the room with a black man and a black woman who she tried to get on the black girl side. Like, girl, why you reaching? Why you grabbing me like that, girl? Don't you believe in black girl magic? Like, come on, girl. Look at your natural hair, girl. I may have a weave, girl, but look out for me. Don't pull on my weave, girl. Like, she's doing all that kind of
For those who didn't see the episode, LBJ is talking about the officers that were escorting Maya into this bunker,
who had no lines. That would have been a perfect role for myself and Janiyah. We would have. I was in Los Angeles earlier this year. You could have flown. I could have come over to that soundstage and recorded. I could have
on very short notice. I could have been available. So I
would have skipped all kinds of meetings and everything else to go film them little scenes in that little bunker thing that they had there.
I'd have called in the influenza, LBJ. I'd have called in the influenza. I'd have called in the bubonic.
Hashtag urgent care. Hashtag D613 urgent care.
LBJ, I'd have called in the bubonic. Nobody called.
But Dan Blakemore brings out a really good point, because he says we've seen that cell before. Was it there? Was it where Maya or Andrew were held on? And that's where I was going with this.
LBJ,
this facade that
I know the answer.
And how do we get there? You get us to the answer tonight. How do they get them there? What's going on?
LBJ, and let me just say, Dan Blakemore, I am very surprised at you. We rely on you to be the scandal historian and to remember all of the facts.
Dan Blakemore's off his game.
is the one with like the amazing recall.
You are our fact checker, Dan, okay?
We're like so whack. Dan knows all the information. But LBJ, we saw this exact bunker when Eli Rowan Pope was locked up. Don't you remember this? Don't you remember Fitz and Eli talking, LBJ? And Eli did one of his epic monologues in his conversation with Fitz. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the "You Are a Boy" monologue took place in that very bunker. Am I right about that?
That was going to be my question. Was it the you are a boy, you are not a man, I am a man, and you are not a man, you are not me, and you will never be me. I am a man, and you indeed are a boy. You think you will get, I remember it well. I remember it well, yes.
Yes, that was it, LBJ. That's where
so why do they still have access to this is my question. Well,
that's the thing. This is Jake. This is Jake's structures, okay? This is an off the record. This is not at all on the system. This is outside of the matrix, LBJ. That's why Jake was on the front lines, actually out, in those streets, pounding the pavement, because he can only use his most trusted guys on this. Because this one's not going in the official records. Now, for tax dollars paying for it,
Jake can only use his most trusted guys for this. That's a little foreshadowing, Janiyah. Let's stay. If you haven't watched the episode, hold on to that little factoid that I just gave you right there.
Hold on to that nugget. And so, LBJ, we see Eli and Maya in the "You Are a Boy" bunker, and they're talking, LBJ. And this was so good. As you mentioned earlier, LBJ, we watched Eli Rowan Pope and we watched Olivia sit on the outside of the cell where Maya was being held and watched her through the double pane, through the what are those called? The two-way mirror, right? They're watching her. She knows they're watching. She knows at least that Eli Rowan Pope is watching. So she's been talking to him the entire time. She hasn't necessarily been talking to Olivia, but she's been talking to Eli Rowan Pope the entire time. And LBJ, they've just been watching her. And so finally, she starts to get extra dramatic. And that's when Eli Rowan Pope feels like she's emotionally in the place where he can go in and actually have a conversation with her, where you can get down to brass tacks here. What in the world is going on? And so he goes in, LBJ. We really need you to recap this chat.
Well, so here's the moment here. I think that this is a good LBJ Janiyah moment. Take it back to because it was a conversation between Mama.
It's a dialogue. That's
exactly. Right. So Daddy walks in, and he sees her, and he looks at her. He's like, first of all, she finally breaks out the TikTok. He's like, I'm going in. And they're like, oh, he's going in. Okay, he's going in. And then Maya says to him, what's up, Rowan? I'm just on my eat, pray, love-ish. And they're talking in this whole
yes.
What does Maya say?
LBJ, I think you're doing a great job there. Keep it going. My notes are not the best. And so basically, this is what she said. I'll give you what I got. But spoiler alert, there are some holes in these notes. Okay, I might have been multitasking.
But here's what's going to help you deliver it to the people, because this is the finale episode. Okay, you got to give them that intonation that Mama gave. You got to give them the breathiness that Mama gave. That's going to help whatever you say become believable. Take it away.
Okay. She said, I trusted you to protect our daughter, Eli. That's the one thing in this world I thought you could do well. And you're not doing it very well, are you, Eli? Huh. This is a dialogue, LBJ. You got to get in there.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. Olivia's not even here. So why are you asking me about Olivia? She wants nothing to do with this.
Stop! She is still my daughter. And I will not have you sit here and diminish that. I can't. Can I go back and undo what I did? I cannot. Okay. But what can a person do to make up for their ways? What can they do?
You know what you can do. You know what you can do. You can tell me who was trying to take my life. You can tell me who was paying. You can tell me who gave you the money to fund those crazy people coming into my dinosaur room at the Smithsonian and trying to make an assault and an attempt on my life, Maya. That's what you can tell me. You can tell me who the people were who ran the Fund for American Renewal are. Tell me that, Maya.
The Fund for American Renewal. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, LBJ? What are you talking about, Eli? Are they white people? Is this white people you're talking about?
Don't mention those white people to me.
LBJ, you have to mention Sandra TT.
Oh, yes.
That's
and
what
then,
I was
yes,
waiting
okay,
for you to
yes. It's not about those white people. You know I don't talk about white people. I whisper about white people. Yeah, but you tell me this one thing, okay? You tell me this one thing. I knew you had something to do with it because you involved Sandra. That's the only reason why I knew that it was you, because you involved Sandra. You know the Sandra I'm talking about. The Sandra whom I had to kill. The Sandra who was mummified. The Sandra who was Tutankhamun. The Sandra who is now Sandra TD.
Oh, that's how they got you? Okay.
Right.
The one that got away, huh? That's how they got you? Okay. You think I didn't think about Sandra every single day of our marriage, Eli? Okay. Knowing that I was
the script says Rowan has tears welling up in his eyes.
knowing that you were comparing me to her every single thing I did when I couldn't get excited enough when you found the embalmed penguin out in the middle of Kalamazoo. I knew you were comparing me to Sandra this entire time. Okay. And I loved you anyway, Eli. Yes. You couldn't love me like you love Sandra, but I loved you anyway, Eli, didn't I? Didn't I?
Bravo.
And then
she says, wait, let me tell you what. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. And then she dropped the line. LBJ.
Oh, yeah. Come on. That's where I was going. You got to give that line. You got that
This
one?
is the line
okay.
that had Eli Rowan Pope basically stand up and be about to leave the room. And she said, I loved you. I loved you, Eli. And you deserve to be loved. LBJ, he couldn't have stand it.
No, she said to him, she said, and I cannot make you happy because happiness is not your mission.
Oh!
But I loved you, Eli. Eli, you deserved to be loved. Man,
LBJ, we need our sound effects because there are things that need sound effect related emphasis that we are not able to do. But LBJ, okay, Google Hangout, bring back the sound effects. You brought back the back the lower thirds.
Here's the campaign. You got a whole summer to get together.
Thank you. We thank you for bringing the lower thirds back. Now let's get our other utilities back. Thank you. But anyway, so LBJ, we have to just do a quick little reflection on the importance of this moment. What we have been talking about the last few episodes here in the Scandal recap is the vulnerability that we have seen from Eli Rowan Pope in these last couple of episodes, right? We have watched him love Sandra before she became Sandra TT. Okay, we watched him be vulnerable about Sandra. We watched him do what he had to do and take her out, LBJ. We also watched him be at the mercy of people who were hanging over his head a murder of Olivia and constantly playing with his mind to make him think that, to remind him of his powerlessness in the situation. We have seen a vulnerable Eli more than we have ever seen before. And it has been, for all of us, a bit of a shakeup. And for Maya to say to him, you deserve to be loved. Once again, LBJ, she's doing what? Again, it's back now to the monologue, # Black Woman's Burden. She's still, LBJ, is needing to affirm him. Do you see? Yeah, she's still needing to elevate him. She's still doing, what did they call it? She's still trying to upgrade him, LBJ. She can't stop.
Upgrade you. She's going to buy him some VVS stones.
LBJ, she's going to have the briefcase? What was all the lyrics? LBJ, she's still trying to upgrade him. She still wants to uplift him. After all that has transpired, she still has his best interest at heart.
With all the money that she has access to, she won't need to upgrade him. She can just say, come sit on mama's lap, and he can be the sugar mama. She can be the sugar mama for Rowan Pope. But no, you're totally right. Like, this is one of those things where we see all of the open wounds and all the open scars that this woman who happens to be Black is carrying along with her. How many of your peers and colleagues, not to you, but I mean you symbolically, you understood. Right. Let's go back to diagramming sentences. You understood. How many of you understood walk around with all these open wounds and scars? to get them healed. This is some real stuff that Sean
Yes,
is
it
delivering in
is.
just the first hour of this entire episode of Scandal.
Mhm.
And we are in like almost the first hour of this
Oh my gosh,
live
we gotta move
hangout
more
for everything.
quickly.
But if you're just joining us, the West Coast right now is 5 minutes into Scandal. So they're watching 5 minutes of what we've already talked about. And if you're watching us now, as some of you do, thank you so much for tuning in. We are an hour into the conversation. Go back, not now, but go back after we're live, after live goes off, and watch the beginning of this hangout so that you can see all of the conversation that led up to this. Thank you so much for tuning into the Scandal Recap. I'm Larry Brown, joined by my fantastic friend, the Janiyah Wright. Please share on the on the social media networks all of our hashtags. And if you are live as we are right now, 5 minutes past the top of the hour, you can also join in the chat room. Shout out to Lacey Rideout, who is sending us love live from Washington, D.C. Stephanie Beard has joined the room. Shar 90303 has joined us, Janiyah, as well as a few other friends that I let slip by me, but I was going to shout them out. But we're so glad y'all are here. Please tell your friends. The numbers are still growing. Thank y'all so much. We love you. It's the season finale of
It's so good, LBJ. And thank you guys so much for joining us. LBJ, we're going to have to move a little bit more quickly.
We are, but I also want to tag that last moment of that entire
Very
moment
important.
that showed their humanistic qualities of Mama and Papa and then Baby. Because earlier, Janiyah, you mentioned, I brought up to your attention that we need to talk about the vacation to Ocean City where Maya undercooked the crabs, Rowan got sick, and Olivia had
a jellyfish sting.
Oh, she had a jellyfish sting. And then Rowan goes back and backsells and tags the entire moment. And he says to her, after all of that, you deserve to be loved, Rowan stuff that she said, he tapped back into what made him say, I'll make you my baby's mom. And he said, that was the best vacation we ever had. Oh my gosh, I wasn't ready for that. I was just like,
and LBJ.
I said, Lord, I'm in my prayer closet, in my war room, Lord. I'm asking you to heal the Black family, Lord. The Black family needs you on tonight, Lord. Please heal the Black family. That's what I was saying.
Oh, God.
There's so much brokenness in these brilliant people's family.
Tyler Perry is clearly present in that character that you just conjured. That LBJ.
Hashtag Chitlin Circuit.
LBJ. They also both agreed that why that moment was special was because it was just them. And so LBJ, we're definitely, and I love what the word you use there, their humanness. That is what we were seeing, LBJ. And that's what we've been seeing from Eli for these last few episodes. And then we've now seen it from Maya as well. And so LBJ, my thinking is I could probably zip us through a couple of because there were a couple of minor scenes. That
we had a bunch of zip zap zopping.
Zip zap zop scenes.
I mean, from people who were talking, we see we go back to QPA and we see that Gabby Abby Red shows up. Gabby Abby Red essentially wants to help this entire investigation that we talked about, that Olivia gave them this challenge as their first official case as QPA. Then we go to Olivia talking to Rowan about how he believed Mama Pope, and she's like, don't believe her, Dad, why are you falling for it? He's like, I felt the quiver. She made me feel the quiver. I remember the nectar. The nectar is why you're here, and you now are the keeper of the nectar. They have this whole little like family moment that they deal with there. And he thought that Maya was beautiful in all of what they said, but she was just bones. And he compared her to the dinosaur in the dinosaur room at the Smithsonian.
But then LBJ, can I just really quickly insert there one quick hashtag? Yeah. It's just a hashtag, LBJ, and it's residual nectar. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Oh yeah, and guess what? This time the residual nectar was on Papa Pope, which is a rarity.
That's right. That's right. So he's looking around at bones and artifacts. Yeah. What about that crustified nectar right there on your face, Eli Rowan?
That you wipe off on the side of your mouth in the morning. You're like, what did I just do? That's what that was. Yeah.
That's exactly what that was. Okay.
Absolutely.
Keep going, LBJ. Keep going.
Absolutely. Then we go back. We see that Huck and Olivia are now talking once again. Remember, Huck has to have some normalcy with Olivia. He's testing the water to see how frequently he can talk to this woman. And then they talk about in this conversation how they followed the money, and the money, what was it? The money led them to oh my gosh, they followed the money. And the money was
Now,
was
LBJ,
not linked to Maya. Maya was not actually behind all of it. Maya was hired to be the assassin in all of this ploy that's going on. So remember, guys, we're trying to figure out between OP/QPA now who's doing this whole ploy, right? And in this ploy, we're trying to figure out who done it. It's Clue. It's like it happened in the study with the rope and it's three things in Clue, right? It's like the and Colonel Mustard. We're trying to figure that whole thing out.
Yeah,
So
it's like a candlestick and a rope and
like the gun, the library, or the gun, the kitchen, and the cook or whatever. So we're trying to figure out this whole Clue thing. And so Huck says to Olivia, "We've been playing Clue and we figured out who done it, and we followed the money, and the money is not linked to your mom, but the money is linked to someone else who hired your mom to be the hit woman in this entire thing." And we realize that the whole thing has been a ploy that Mama Pope has been put up and hired to do, but now we have to figure out who
LBJ
hired Mama Pope.
Now, who's gonna say it? Who's gonna say it? Should I say it?
You take it away.
I'll say it because I predicted this last week, LBJ.
You did.
Yes, I did.
Shania said this. Shania said it. And I agreed with you. I was like, Mama Pope is not the one, because remember, as Mrs. Creel Davis pointed out, she likes to watch TV. And I reminded you last week that she said, I want to go home and just watch my white picket fence behind my.
Okay. And Fitz says to her, "Oh, you know what? It's up to you, but this is the life you chose. You need to get used to hearing Secret Service 24 hours a day." You know, Mellie was saying that they were like rats in the walls. They're everywhere. And he basically says, you need to get used to it. And she says, you know what? I dreamt of this as a little girl. And Fitz essentially says to her, girlfriend, your dream came true for good or bad. And LBJ, it was a wonderful, to me, moment of closure between those two. It was very much a wrapping up of this relationship between the two of them. My gosh, it's always been a struggle for power. And this is truly power moving from one hand to the other. So wanted to just put a little pin on that.
Absolutely. And what we're also going to put a pin in is the scene that happened after Huck brought Olivia's attention to the fact that her mama was the assassin. Olivia walks into the room with her mama and finally reveals that she's been watching her the entire time. And she's like, "Oh, what are you doing sitting in here again? I can't believe I'm face to face with you again. You, my mother, you, the one who gave me the nectar factor. You, who is the mother of who passed the lineage to me of the black girl magic of this family. Why you, ma'am, are sitting in front of me like this again?" And Olivia is like, "You had to let this woman go. She has rights. I demand justice for my mama." She's hollering to the facade.
She's hollering to
like the people around there. And mind you, what I loved about this, and y'all know I love this stuff, is Mama Pope was sitting there with her arms shackled to the table. She sees her daughter. She says, "Hi, Livy." I love when she says Livy. I love that. And so she's like, "Hi, Livy." And Olivia's performing like, "Let my people go. Let Sarah go. My people, my mama. She has rights. Listen to my mama. No, my mama. Feed her some food."
I'm here now, Mom. I'm here now. Have you had water? Do you need anything? I'm here. You know, she does her, "I'm here now, Mom. I'm here. I'll take care of it."
Mind you, Candace is like, she needs to comb. Last week, Candace was like, she needs to comb her curls out. Her curls she needs to comb her curls out. But here's the thing. So after all of that screaming to nobody in the room, her mother says, "Girl, bye." I was like, oh, shoot. She was like,
so good.
But she gives her that thing that Papa Pope gave to her last week. And she's essentially like, "You're flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone.
Nice try.
I know who you are. Nice try, girl. You can't pull a fast one on me. I know what's going on, and you're not going to get what you want out of me by doing it like this."
Yeah, coffee, light, and sweet.
And she said, "Oh, wait." And she said, "You can't be him, Olivia. I know that beautiful way that he tries to come in and scream at me and make me feel some kind of way. You're doing the same thing that he does. You can't be him. You'll never be him." And Olivia's like, "I'm gonna choke you, my mother. I'm a mean big monster. My daddy said I'm a monster. I'm gonna choke you on the count of 5 if you don't tell me who the person is. I'm gonna choke you." And her mother's like the whole time, like a weeble wobble. And Jake comes in and saves Olivia's mother's Mama Pope's life. That scene was so epic to me.
LBJ, it was so good. And people in the chat loved it. Coffee Light and Sweet said, yep, Mama shut down all that noise.
She did.
Dang, she even hurt my feelings. And LBJ, you know, Mrs. Creole Davis is calling out one of the best lines of the whole thing that what Maya Pope said, which was game recognizes game.
She said that, yes.
It was so good. It was another one of those flesh of my flesh moments. I know you, girl, because you're me. That's basically what she was saying, LBJ. It was so good. I love that scene, LBJ. I loved it. And it's just so interesting. We watch the evil in Olivia's eyes. Did you see it, LBJ? Did you see the evil?
It was so good. I mean, she, like Grace said, Olivia went full demon. And she was like, like, it was like she did everything but curl her lip, but she was like, look in my eyes. I'm crazy. Oh, I'm a pope. Oh, I'm a pope. Oh, I've killed a vice president. Oh, you can't do what I've done.
LBJ, she went full on demon.
She did.
Her guy was out, LBJ. That guy was out big time. He was out having a good old time. He was out at Mardi Gras, LBJ. He was having a ball.
Hurricanes and all. Hurricanes and daiquiris and all.
And LBJ, we then see Mellie, you know, and Olivia talking. And Olivia feels like, well, I done choked my mom. She's never going to tell us the truth now. And Mellie, I almost killed her. Now she's not going to be our friend. And then Mellie basically says, you know what? I have faith in you. We're going to figure this out. Olivia hatches this plan to let her mother go. She wants to put a tracking chip in her and, you know, essentially set her free, you know. And she runs this idea by a couple of folks. And of course, no one's picking up what she's dropping. You know, Eli is basically saying she's tricked you. Don't fall for this. And Olivia has fully subscribed to the storyline that her mother has given her. What the mother has been saying, and we haven't really highlighted this well in the chat this evening, but what the mother had been saying throughout all of her messaging, even when she was just talking to herself, what she was saying was, yeah, you know what? Am I here? And am I a part of what is happening right now in terms of someone about to be assassinated? Absolutely. But I'm here because I'm here to protect Olivia. And I'm here because I'm here to support Olivia. I'm not here to undermine anything that Olivia is doing. So that has been her message this entire time. Now, she wouldn't give up the goods. She wouldn't say who she was working for. She wouldn't say who had hired her. She wouldn't say what the larger plot was. But she did keep saying that whatever it was, she wasn't there to actually execute the plot. She was there to undercut the plot. And so she kept saying it. And Olivia had completely believed her. She had faith in her. You know, there were a few times where she even said things like, my mom won't let me down. Right. And again, that is the woman she was just choking. OK. But she said, yeah, my mom won't let me down. And LBJ, she continues to advocate for her mom. No one's picking up what she's dropping. But you know what? She does it anyway, LBJ. She puts a tracking chip. Her and Jake put a tracking chip in Mama Pope, and LBJ, they let her free. What did you think of that? I couldn't believe it. I mean, she completely disregarded what Fitz said.
She disregarded what Fitz said and what her daddy said, because we cut to her apartment where she's there. By the way, where is Marla Gibbs and her lover? Where are they?
Where?
She's still, Olivia is still in need of a session with Marla Gibbs's character, and her lover. Well, no, the lover is dead, or is Marla dead? One of them are dead.
The lover's dead.
The lover's dead, so we need a moment with Marla Gibbs and Olivia Pope. But so Rowan goes to the apartment and he's asking Olivia, "What have you done? You have disobeyed me. I'm your daddy. What have you done? I'm so mad." She's like, "Dad, I know what I'm doing. Like, please don't go here." Would you like a sip of Dubélé? I'm drinking Dubélé. Dubonnet. Okay, bye-bye. Sashay away, daddy. This is what she said to him.
You're such a poet.
And he's just like, you know what? I'm going to leave you, Olivia. I'm going to go back and talk to Fitz because I'm going to reinstate B613. I'm going to talk to Fitz and try to get Fitz to reinstate B613. So that's what he essentially does. He goes over there, he talks to Fitz, and Maya is freed, and Rowan is essentially fit to be tied. End of episode 1. Begin episode 2 of the season finale of Scandal tonight, May 9th. Well, now we're May 19th. Let's go tonight. We're in a whole new day now.
Yeah, can you believe?
This is a 2-day recap.
Oh my gosh, LBJ.
Who'd have thunk it? Let's go.
It's not our first, and it won't be our last.
Exactly.
And LBJ, there was one other thing that happened in the first episode, which was just that, again, we had seen Gabby Abby Red creeping her way back into OPA for various things. At some point, she had been called in to help because, of course, she had a little bit of intel in the shadow group in terms of their banking structures and things like that. So she had been called in as a resource.
She was the only survivor. You're right. She was the only survivor from all of that jazz.
That's right. And so had she been called in by OPA? Absolutely. But did OPA trust her, love her, have forgiveness for her? Not really. They were working on it, but had not quite given up the ghost. And so there is a moment, though, where we see Gabby Abby Red, heading out. She's provided some assist. They're finished. She's heading out for the day. And Quinn kind of corners her and basically confesses that she's pregnant with Charlie's child. And that's it. She drops the bomb, and that's the end of the conversation. She basically says, I'm pregnant and I'm an evil person and Charlie's the evil person, and we probably aren't fit to be parents. And that was end of scene. So LBJ, we get the nugget that she's pregnant, we get the nugget that she's anxious, and LBJ, we get the answer to our question. We have been talking in the chat about why Quinn is so hesitant when it comes down to making these wedding plans with Charlie. LBJ, it's because she's #knocked up.
Yep.
Yeah, and so now, LBJ, we're in the second episode, and it starts out where so many Scandal episodes start, with Olivia naked in Fitz's bed. And she's there, LBJ, and he is livid. He is very upset. You let her go. I specifically told you not to do that. And Olivia's sitting there. Yeah, I let her go.
Olivia's like, what are you talking about? I'm Olivia Pope. I'm the keeper of the nectar. Why, of course I let her go. You've got less than 24 hours left as president of these United States of America. Why I had to let her go. Why? Because you need to get over here, Mr. President, and get a little sample of this nectar one more time as the president and me as your non-wife. Don't you want some of this black girl magic, Mr. President? Look how I'm yanking these covers across my nude breasts on this thing. You'll just see my naked shoulders across this sheet. Come get in the bed with me, Mr. President. And that's what Olivia was dropping down to Fitz. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, you're just so bossy. And that's when we get bossy nectar. Olivia has bossy
Yes,
nectar.
she does. And guess what she said?
That's what she is.
He said, you're very bossy. And
she's very bossy.
She said, and you love it. And you know what? Within 3 seconds, Fitz's clothes had disappeared off his body, and he had jumped into that bed, LBJ.
Explosive.
So, yeah. So you know what? #forgiven. All right, all of a sudden, Olivia's off the hook for letting a terrorist who we believe at this point was trying to kill Mellie back out into the streets.
Wait, and coffee light and sweet. Yes, I was grabbing my shirt. Let me tell you, I'm going to put the shirt in the dryer longer now because I stretched this shirt.
Stretch it out.
Like it was Olivia in the thing. Took the shirt and put it all the way across my.
But it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Oh, it's all for the game. I mean, it's all for the show. It's all for the family.
It's all for the show. And LBJ, the next thing we see is Maya doing a fake handoff in a coffee shop, under full surveillance of the United States government, again, off the record,
Yes.
Under full surveillance, she's doing a fake handoff to trick Jake and all of his Spidey people. And she, LBJ, takes the tracking chip out of herself. And
no, she doesn't take. She cuts the chip
carves it out of her body.
Absolutely.
And you know where it was, LBJ. It's always right here. That's the place they put it.
It's right back there on the nape
right in the back meat. The back meat, right in the meat in the back of the neck there.
That's Chitlin Circuit to call it the back meat. It's called the nape of the neck. That's we're trying to get it to Shondaland. It's called the nape.
I need to use better vocabulary. Shonda, we know the words. It's the nape. We know it's the nape.
We went to college. We know the words.
And so they always put it right in the nape of the neck, LBJ. So we know you guys remember Devil in a Red Dress had that scar and that bloody pus coming out of her neck after Jake carved that tracking device out of her. Well,
or lest we forget Sandra Titi, upon her death, they went to go check behind her ear and the nape of her neck. What was it? That same itty bitty little half tic tac doohickey.
Gel cap, little gel cap.
Half tic tac gel cap doohickey, looking like a grain of rice. It was a rice doohickey.
Then she carved her rice doohickey out, and she's once again out here in these streets. But you know who is not shaken? It is Olivia. She says, okay, so my mother carved the rice thingy out of the nape of her neck. I trust her. I'm still sure that she's doing what she said she was going to do, which is to be advocating for us, even through her private plot. What just happened, LBJ?
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because Mrs. Creole Davis just took us full chitlin circuit play, and she's the nape of the neck is the kitchen in Creole. That is not just in Creole. That is in our community. We all know what the kitchen is, okay?
Yeah.
I never understood why it's called a kitchen, but you got to comb that kitchen out. My grandmother used to press some of my cousins, my first cousins' kitchens out. The cousins who didn't have, the cousins whose genetics were a little different. She used to comb their kitchens out and press their kitchens out. I remember it very well.
Yeah, and this is every little girl who's ever got a pressing curl has a nightmare about that you still wake up 20 years later out your sleep of the first time you get that press done on the nape of in the kitchen on the nape of your neck. That's
y'all need to blame all of y'all need to blame Sarah Breedlove for that, okay? And if you don't know who Sarah Breedlove is, look her up.
Madam CJ Walker, who brought all of that.
You need to blame her for making y'all cry.
Oh gosh. The more you know. That was our moment. Yeah. Madam CJ Walker was the first Black female millionaire in the United States of America. Thank you, Madam CJ Walker, for straightening our hair.
The more you know.
And so then, LBJ, on the topic of straight hair, we have Maya and Olivia. You know, the next thing we see, LBJ, is we're at the inauguration. Okay, and we and Mellie has decided to keep her inauguration because you know what she said? She said there are women coming from hither and thither and from to and also from fro. Okay, and they are coming here for this inauguration. It is not just about me. I have to be there for all of them. And so she's having her inauguration. They had a pre-meeting where Luna Vargas was like, okay, we're going on out here into these streets. Even though we know somebody's trying to kill us, I'm fine with that. She said, let's just make sure our children are not on the stage. Mellie is fine with that. So the next thing we see, we're at the inauguration. Okay, and we see them come out, you know, in their very prestigious way, one at a time. You know, we see Luna Vargas, we see Mellie come down, you know, she's there taking her oath. And then LBJ, despite all of the work that Jake has done to secure this environment, once again, Mama Pope has found her way onto the roof of some building. She has taken out a sniper that was there to protect the inauguration, took him out, okay, and she's now got the gun about to do what she wants to do. And she doesn't just do it, LBJ, she calls up Olivia. And she says to LBJ, she's on the phone. She's on the phone right here. And you know, you have to be a beast to be on the cell phone and pointing a sniper rifle with complete precision. And she's talking to her daughter just as calm as day. Livy, can you move that big bubble head 2 inches to the right? I'm about to do what I promised you I was going to do and make things right. And Olivia's on the phone. Mom, what are you doing? Who is it? What? This is the inauguration. Don't kill Mellie.
Yes.
And she said, it's not Mellie. I'm going to do you one better than that. And then Olivia is realizing that Mama is going to take out the person that hired her. And so Olivia wants to know who it is. Who is it, Mom? Who is it? Where are they? Don't shoot Mellie. Who is it? And Mama Pope said, I'm going to take care of it, right? Bloop. She didn't take care of it, LBJ. Somebody took care of her. Who was it? It was Eli Rowan Pope.
The target, and Nia says the target has been neutralized.
Mama Pope is on the ground, bloody. Okay, and LBJ, whatever it is she was about to do, is thwarted.
Yep.
Okay, LBJ, I did not see that coming. Did you see that coming?
I didn't see. I thought that Mama Pope. So here's what I thought in just a fleeting moment, because a lot of times I will dismiss what my theories are to go to what potentially could be taking a turn on the show, to be like, yep, I called it before it actually happens. And so I thought in that moment, I said, oh, shoot. Papa Pope, when she was like, first of all, she was taking too long to kill her. Olivia was doing all this little ducking and dodging and everything.
Yes.
She is the only one on the inaugural platform taking a seat. Hello, you are obvious. You are black,
so
and you
obvious.
are on this platform. All these white people up here, they gonna see you sitting down. Why you, ma'am, are sitting down when you are the known help to the country? You've been the help for you've been the nectar help for the president, and you've also been the help to help all these other people who are their colleagues get out of their messes. So why are you sitting down when you know better? You're supposed to stand and hold up the cake and dance the jubilee and cakewalk through the plantation. That's what they wanted you to do, Olivia, but you were sitting down. And so it was so obvious. And then her mother was taking too long to do it. I said, there's something else about to happen. I said, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. He's going to kill her. Papa Pope is going to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to kill Mama Pope, and we're not going to know anything. And what happened? Papa Pope shot her. He neutralized the target. He did not kill her. He shot her shoulder or whatever. And he sees, Papa Pope sees that Olivia is on speakerphone, and she hears Daddy on the phone. And she's like, Dad, what's going on? Olivia, your mother's been taken down. She's fine. Is she alive? What's going on? She was going to give me a name. Olivia, the name is Luna Vargas. That's what she was going for. She told us all who it was, because Luna was at the podium. Fake Clarence Thomas was up there, and Mellie Grant. Those are the only people in the shot. So it wasn't fake Clarence Thomas. We've not met him. The only person to point to was Luna Vargas. And then shout out to all of you that said Luna Vargas was behind all of this the entire time. I was so rooting for you, because I was just like, she's a random factoid. Why do we need her? But most of you called out that Luna Vargas was the one that we needed to watch in all of this. So bravo, snaps, claps to all of you for calling out Luna Vargas for that.
It's so true, LBJ. And but I have to just call out Coffee Light and Sweet's quote in the chat. She said, that's a real mama. Rifle in one hand, cell phone in the other while talking to her kid. Hashtag mama busy right now. LBJ is so good, because it's so true. You know, moms have like 5 arms. I don't know how they be doing it.
Exactly. Stirring the spaghetti pot, as well as combing the kitchen out the back of the hair, as well as checking homework, as well as spanking the other bad baby who won't just be quiet. Man, be quiet. She knows how to do it. Yes,
LBJ, and handling a conference call for the office, all simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Right? And so LBJ, we all then realize in that moment, it's probably Luna Vargas. Now, because we're all concluding it, we're also all a little skeptical. Could we possibly be right that it's Luna Vargas? LBJ, we weren't quite sure yet, but it just starts to feel like it's Luna Vargas right there in that moment. And so then, LBJ, tell me if I'm alone in this, but there was also a moment where I questioned Eli Rowan Pope, because of the way he took Maya out.
I did too. Yes, I did.
How convenient that he got there. Now, OPA and Associates weren't even able to find that specific location and to find where Mama Pope was that quickly. Eli Rowan Pope was already there. And it was just so interesting that it wasn't a lackey, right? It wasn't just random, sniper 11. That's because, they tend to have 25 sniper extras in every episode. Yes. It wasn't Sniper 11. It was Eli Rowan Pope.
And by the way, we don't want to play sniper extras. We want to actually be like news reporters. We want to be somebody like either behind the desk with a microphone, walking through a scene that makes a noticeable look. Shondaland, if you're watching, just keep that in mind for the final season. Thank you.
Yeah, character with a name. I don't want to be woman at desk. I like to be Barbara at desk. That's fine.
Right. We add to the IMDb database. How about that?
LBJ is funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true. And LBJ, so we're questioning Eli Rowan Pope. We're like, wait a second, is it Luna Vargas? Is she the bad guy? And LBJ, you're so right. People in our chat called it out. And LBJ, there was another important point, and I know we need to move a little bit more quickly here. We were doing good on pace for a minute there, but LBJ, there was a point earlier in the episode where Fitz described what it felt like to be shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he was explaining it because he was making the case to Mellie to take her inauguration on into the bowels of the White House and do it behind closed doors where it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
And he was describing her what it felt like to get shot. And I was actually happy they did that, because when Mama Pope got shot, I immediately recalled that explanation that Fitz had given. And so just as we were bonding with Maya Pope this entire episode and getting to know her as a person and getting to know her as the wife that she was before she fled and returned to her terrorist ways, as we're getting to know that tender part of her, we also are understanding what she's going through right there when she's just been shot, because we just had that walk through what it feels like to be shot. So I did appreciate that. And I wondered if others also had that experience. But LBJ, so then the next thing we see is David and Olivia and Fitz. They're debriefing everything that's going on. And Olivia figures out that Papa Pope had manipulated Fitz into restarting B613.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Pope had basically gone to Fitz and said, listen, I need you to start at B613 and I need you to be the head of it. If for no other reason, you're going to have to do it to check my daughter, Olivia, because she is now in control and she's power crazed. He went as far as to call her the disease in the White House. And so he said, you need to be B613 to check her. And Olivia, essentially, she finds out by doing what basically punking David Rosen, which is so easy to do. It is not hard.
Which was also not the only time David Rosen was punked in this season finale of Scandal. I felt so bad for that guy.
Hashtag everybody punks David Rosen.
Hashtag David Rosen, shut the heck up. Hashtag nobody cares what you have to say.
You have no spine. He literally is lacking in spine, LBJ. He tased in the wind, LBJ. So we see Olivia get very upset at the prospect of Fitz running B613.
And mind you, her daddy, like you said, called her a disease. Lois Pope said, my daughter is the Zika virus of the United States of America. He called her the Zika virus in this episode, essentially. What are you laughing at? What happened in the chat? Tell us what happened.
Coffee Light Sweet said David Rosen is the Charlie Brown of Scandal. That is so hilarious to me. He is the Charlie Brown of Scandal. He's just the worst. He's like Eeyore from Winnie and the Pooh. It's like, please just leave. You're bringing us all down. And so.
Wait, isn't it Winnie the Pooh, not Winnie and the Pooh?
Yeah, he is the Pooh.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, did I misstate it? No, Winnie is the Pooh. There's no additional Pooh.
Yeah, you said Winnie and the Pooh. I was like, wait, isn't it Winnie the Pooh? Okay.
You're right. Yeah, he's the Pooh. And LBJ, Olivia gets very disappointed in Fitz. And she's full on emotional. And she says, you would do this after you saw what it did to my father. And you saw what it did to my family. And we are still living in the ruins of all of this. And you would take it on. I was going to ask you to stay. I wanted you to be with me. I didn't want you to go to Vermont. I wanted you to stay with me. And now you can't, because you've taken over B613. And he is still firm in his decision at that point. And he says, I will be here with you, because I'll be here in DC, using my foundation as a shadow for what I'll really be doing, which is running B613.
Dramatic sound effect that we used to have, but it's now gone.
Right. And so eventually, though, Fitz comes around and he but before he does, we have another quick little snippet scene of Quinn asking Gabby Red to take over OPA. She says, you know what? I'm getting out of here. Charlie can't be no daddy to my baby because he's evil. I at least know how to pretend to be normal because I used to be normal. She said, so maybe if I just leave, my baby will have a chance. I'm out of here. Gabby Red, I need you to take over OPA. And Gabby Red says, well, let me just think about it. Then we go back to the White House and Olivia and Fitz are talking again. And this time Fitz comes back and he says, you know what, Olivia, I couldn't do it. And guess what? Olivia knew that was exactly what he was going to do. Fitz is and always has been wrapped around her finger. The man has literally started a war for her. I mean, he literally will do anything for her. And so he comes back predictably and says he couldn't do it. He undid his order that would have set aside money for B613. But then LBJ, he had the goodbye Olivia scene where he, the two of them kiss or whatever. And he basically says, I can't stay, I have to move on, and you can't leave. You have to stay here. And so LBJ, they have a kiss and he leaves. And then LBJ, we had a hashtag bodyguard.
Oh, yes, go there. Okay, yes, go.
And then we find ourselves reliving the last scene of The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, where Fitz is walking toward the helicopter, waving to the press.
And the propeller is going.
The propeller is going. He's saying goodbye, world. I'm not going to be president anymore after I get on this here helicopter. Goodbye, power. Goodbye, White House. LBJ, right when he gets there, who comes out of the White House?
It's running, and gets to the lawn, and she says, Mr. President, Mr. President. And it's almost like it was Dwayne and Whitley all over again. Baby, please, baby, please. And she's like, I'm sorry, running, slow motion, running. Grab the subject and kiss. Oh, we're kissing. Yeah. Come on, keep going. Oh, yeah.
We'll always love you. You gotta use the finger to get the note.
Yeah. We got it. We got that note out.
LBJ and Coffee Light Sweden just doing the lyric. LBJ, they do the bodyguard moment. They are kissing. And let me just say,
and it says
tongues, lips.
And he's like kissing.
Oh, yes.
He's like, their camera. She's like, I don't care. And they're just going. Yeah.
You know what? There's nectar on every camera that the press had. There's nectar in the grass. There's nectar getting caught in the helicopter. What are the propellers? There's nectar everywhere, LBJ.
Yes, Mrs. Cleo Davis brought out the line. She says, Fitz says, I can't stay. I have a foundation to run. She says, you have a world to save. To Olivia. He says to Olivia, you have a world to save. Olivia felt the quiver. She felt the quiver, and she had to run and give it to the president.
Yeah. And LBJ, this is just once again Olivia being selfish, I have to say. And we need to move on. But Olivia, for you to go out there and create a headline right now when really people need to be focused on Mellie, I mean, it was a little bit selfish.
Right.
But anyway, she did it, and we shouldn't be surprised at this point.
Mrs. Cleo Davis says nectar is dripping.
That's right. That's right. It's literally dripping free.
Drip, drop, drip, drippity drop. Shout out to Empire.
And so then now that Fitz is gone, okay, Olivia can focus once again. Okay, she's back on her game. All right. And she's working with Jake. And she's figuring out what happened. She's working with OPH. She's working with all of her peeps. And she's figuring out what's happening, LBJ. And she puts 2 and 2 together. That the common thread here in these 2 inaugurations was that there were certain people that were not present on the stand. And who was it? It was the Vargas children. Curious. And so LBJ, she figures out that it is Luna Vargas who is evil. It is Luna Vargas who Mama Pope was about to take out. And
whom her mama told her, essentially, her mom was leading her like, this is the one that you need to take down because she's the one responsible for all of this, my daughter. And so Olivia is on this whole crusade, these last few moments of Scandal season 6, and she's trying to figure out who done it and how can I get it. Well, she figured out who done it. It's Luna Vargas. And she's like, you know what? I gotta take her down.
Yeah.
I know Luna Vargas. I'm gonna take her down. She's like, you know what? Knock. Hey, Luna Vargas, what's up? Hi, Olivia Pope. How you doing? Hey, Luna Vargas, can you close your door, please? Sure, Olivia Pope, I can close my door. What do you want? Luna Vargas, guess what? I know something that you know, and I need you to confirm it to me. I know that you had your husband killed and that you're power hungry and you're a very dirty, nasty, evil, terrible woman. Is that true, Luna Vargas? And she's like, Olivia Pope, oh, whatever do you mean?
How dare you?
She's like, Que Paso, what do you mean? Like, I don't know what's going on, Olivia Pope. Shout out to the campus pals. And so then she was like, and so she's like, no, Olivia, no, Luna Vargas, I know what's going on. You did this. She's like, Olivia Pope, you won't be the end of me at all, Olivia Pope.
You don't have any evidence.
You don't have any evidence. Furthermore, I'm the vice president of the United States. My ranking is my approval rating is higher than the president's right now, and she needs me, and I will be the next person to run this country. You can't do anything about it. And Olivia's like, oh gosh, dag nabbit, I can't do anything but wear this black cape that I have swinging around, but I'll find my white hat. I'll wear my white hat, Luna Vargas, if it's the last thing that I do. And she walks out of Luna Vargas's office and she goes back to her place. And now it's time for the inaugural ball. Mellie's like, well, I guess, mind you, Mellie's name is Melanie Margaret Grant, okay? Melanie Margaret Grant is in her place looking for a ball gown for her inaugural ball, and she's like, well, I guess my name is Melanie Margaret Grant. I gotta find a nice ball gown to wear for my inaugural ball. Normally any other president takes 10 minutes to pick the tuxedo out, but I gotta find a nice dress that compliments women, but it's also not gonna get me written up in the Washington Post. So I gotta figure out this whole bit. Meanwhile, I could be killed tonight, but I'm gonna go on out and figure everything else out. Is anyone listening to me out there? Hello? Is anyone out there? Can anyone hear me? No one's listening to you, Melanie Margaret Grant, but we're just going through the motions right now at this point.
Right.
And then we cut to Olivia back at her apartment. Olivia knew what she was wearing. She's wearing this whole Contessa looking thing, looking like
now LBJ.
And what's up?
LBJ, you skipped the scene. You skipped a scene where Olivia, this is before she starts getting dressed. She stops by the hospital. And she talks to her mom.
So I was gonna say that for the ending. Yes. So Olivia, in the midst of all this, guys, stops by the hospital. She's like, Mama, you were right. I should listen to you the whole time. Her mother's like, Olivia, it's okay. I'm hanging on. I'm not on death's door. I need a little oxygen right now. But baby, move to the side. I'm trying to watch the TV. You know, I like watching TV, baby. I still can't. This TV reception is just so bad at this hospital, Olivia. I just still want to watch TV.
Healthcare system. She says, oh, this healthcare system.
And she said, she's like, this healthcare system. I was like, shade upon the entire United States of America. Shade upon the repeal of Affordable Care Act.
Yes.
Shade upon shade upon Congress right now coming from Shondaland, everyone. Shade. And so all this shade is in the midst of the atmosphere. And then we cut back to Olivia, who's back at her apartment.
LBJ. There was some important lines in that Olivia Maya exchange. She's doing what you love, LBJ. She's reminding Olivia that she's the help. She basically says, why do you care if Luna Vargas is evil and traipsing hither and thither through the White House? And then Olivia says, oh, that's my White House that Luna will be traipsing her way through. I earned it. I deserve it. That's what Olivia said. Those two things. I earned it. I deserved it. Again, her guy is out. We're seeing the power and her lust for power, her crazy. It's in her eyes. And you know what? Her mother doesn't talk her down off the roof. You know what her mother said, LBJ? She said, you're half me and half that crazy man. I don't see how anybody can take what you say is yours. And she said, if that White House is your baby, take your baby back. LBJ, well, that's all she needed to know, LBJ. Okay, keep going.
So let me say this about this episode as well. What I liked about this episode is that it also gave me a feeling of social, like some moments where I think that we were robbed of as citizens of the United States of America. And we got to see on Scandal the inauguration of a female president, of a woman president. We also got to deal with the issue of healthcare with that mention in the hospital. And then we also, in a sense, got to relive that moment when we saw Barack and Michelle get in that helicopter and bid America farewell as the president and first lady when Fitz got in that helicopter. I mean, I just want to take a moment and just think
Ugh.
and bask in those emotions that we felt waking up on that
Mm.
Friday morning, knowing who the new president was, or that fateful inaugural day when the President Obama took his last flight over Washington, District of
Mm.
Columbia. Like that meant something, and we got to me they kind of alluded to that, and you got to experience those emotions. Remember, we've been with Fitz since season 1, episode 1 of Scandal. He's
Mm-hmm.
been our Scandal president,
Yes.
and many of you, unlike me, have loved him as your Scandal president. I've
Mm-hmm.
not enjoyed this whole Olivia bit that they've been doing until he was divorced, and you all know that. I've been very
Mm-hmm.
vocal about that whole thing. So to see him come full circle and like now be divorced and loving this woman who is single and he's single, I liked to see that thing flourish potentially on the show tonight. The healthcare mention was also a little shade treat. But getting back to the plot at hand, Olivia talks to
Mm-hmm.
her mother, and Jania's right. She deals in all this stuff, telling her daughter, "Why are you so concerned with all of this? Like, leave, girl. Get out of it. Get over yourself and go on and move on to something else. Move on to something different." Olivia cannot take that as the final say so. Her final say so is these next 4 years in the White House, hopefully 8 years in the White House as chief of staff, or maybe something else. And so we cut
Mm-hmm.
to Olivia looking like Contessa, all wrapped and
Mm-hmm.
swapped and felt in her nice her nicely appointed upper Northwest Washington District of Columbia apartment.
Yep.
And Jake walks in there and she's trying stuff on, and she's like, "I have an idea." And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Ooh, I know that look. You want to stand
He
kind
loves
of
it.
son." He loves that look with her. And what does he do? Jake says, "Tell me about this idea." What happens? They walk up in. Next thing you know, we see Luna Vargas walking up in her vice presidential office with some Secret Service people, with some guys. We will say. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about guys earlier in the episode
Mm-hmm.
in season 1 of the Scandal recap. I mean, in episode 1 of the season finale recap of ours in hour 1, and in there
And
we
LBJ,
see
can I make a
Olivia.
quick point here
Yeah, of
about
course, of course.
straight hair? Okay, now guys, and Larry talked about earlier, Candace making the comment about Olivia's curls being extra tight lately. I
Right.
think it was because we needed to really notice when her hair was straight.
When they
And
straighten
it
that
was
weave out.
when they straightened it out. And why, LBJ? Because when they straightened that hair, she looked like Maya Pope. And so it was her morphing
Mm,
into her mother. Did anybody else in the chat? I need to hear from chat. Did
mm,
people notice that, LBJ? They literally styled her hair just like Mama Pope's.
mm,
And she had that Mama Pope look in her eyes. Gone is her wide-eyed brightness. She's now doing the slit eye that Mama Pope does. And LBJ, she takes that straight hair and that slit eye and that ball gown right into Luna Vargas's office. Go ahead, LBJ, take it away.
And so Luna Vargas walks into her office, and who's
With
inside of
Jake.
her office? Jake
Mm-hmm.
is inside the office, and Olivia inside the office. She's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
hello. What are you doing here?" And she's like, "So you're not going to the ball tonight?" And she's like, "Huh? What do you mean? I'm Luna Vargas." And she's like, "Que pasa?" And she's like, "No, que pasa, nothing." She's like, "You ain't going nowhere. You're gonna die tonight." Vargas says to her, "Guards!" And guess what? Olivia confirms to her that the guys that we talked about earlier in the episode that Janiyah brought up are indeed the guards that Luna Vargas is calling for. They're Jake's people. They're not official Secret
They're
Service
not
people
real.
at all.
Mm-mm.
They are hired goons for
They're
Jake.
B613s. Let's just go ahead and say it.
Hey, I'm going to get a shirt made that says B613 on it, actually, and wear it this summer. And I'm going to wear it
Mm-hmm.
around Washington, D.C. and see what people do. You can
Yes.
join me if you want to when you come to Baltimore this summer. You can totally do the same thing. So, they never come into the room. Olivia's
Mm-hmm.
like, I want you to take this little compartment, and I'm going to open this compartment up, and you're going to take this, and inside the little compartment are 2 little pills that look like meds. take these mints and you're going to die tonight. You can die by taking these 2 little mints right here, or you can die by the bullets that Jake has. Jake is like, yep, you can die by the bullets or by the pills. She's like, oh, I would never. What about my kids? What about this? And she's like, no, I don't believe you. Like, you don't care about your kids because you told your kids not to be there. You didn't want your kids to be in the line of fire because you wanted to kill Mellie. It's all about you, isn't it? You. She's like, oh, you called me out. Oh. Olivia's like, there she is. There it is. You're right. You did want to kill Mellie. Blah, 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 blah.
And LBJ, Luna Vargas, her reaction to all of this. She was really making both her husband and herself martyrs. You know, she said, LBJ, I did all of this to make sure that Frankie Vargas's platform could actually be fulfilled. He's more powerful when the president is more powerful when he's dead. And so she was going to, this is what she was saying, I was going to work hard and improve the world on behalf of my late husband. And Olivia's like, but you killed him, yo. And so she gets called out, LBJ. And Luna Vargas has those 2 options. She can take the pill or she can have Jake. And Jake is having a good time. He's putting his gun together, putting the silencer on, blowing out all the pieces. He's putting his gun together. And she's saying, but I'm a mother. And Olivia's saying to her, hey, yeah, you're going to die. And so the narrative of your children here can be one that you had a heart attack, or they can hear one that you were found in a gutter. And then all the truth is revealed about the fact that you killed their father. Would you like that? And so LBJ.
And she's like, oh, no, I would never. So Olivia's like, she's like, I'm just purely a victim in this. Olivia reaches and she says, give me your hand. Yes, I'm holding your hand now. Yes, you're pure. Yes, you're a victim. But guess what?
You're dead. You're
dead. It's either going to be these pills or the guns. You got to make a choice. And she's like, oh, just give me the pills. And she takes the pills. And she's like, Olivia dumps it in her hand. She takes it. She drops it in her hand. Oh, drop the pill. She drops the pill in her hand. And she's
Why your pill so big? Why your pill so big, LBJ?
Oh, wait. Act like these are the pills right here. Look, those are the pills. Like these 2 dots in the pill. Okay. And she's like, look, she's like this. She's like, oh. And she takes the pill. Magic. It was magic. So good. It was magic. It was good. Right? Excellent. And magic of the camera. She took the pill. And then she's like, so what now? Olivia's like, boom, toss the phone to Jake. She's like, call me when she's dead. Jake's like, hey, okay. I like you. He's like, okay. Yeah, he's like, okay. Luna Vargas says, so what next? He said, we wait.
And that was it.
And that was it. Yeah.
And LBJ, Stephanie Beard calls out the best line. Favorite line of the night. How many people in the room have killed a vice president?
Come on. Talk about it.
And the shock on Luna's face when they smiled and both raised their hands. So this is when Luna is still in denial that she's going to die. They're telling her, you're going to die. And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm a superhero. Look at all these great things I did by killing my husband and heal the world. And they're like, no, you're going to die because we're killers. And then Olivia says, how many people in the room have killed a vice president? And then she raises her hand and Jake raises his hand. And then Luna is just completely shocked and amazed. And then, of course, she is subsequently dead. And so
hashtag dead to the world.
Dead to the world. She's dead to the world. And so then we see Quinn and Abby have a quick exchange where Abby, who again, if there's anybody as pitiful as David Rosen, it's Abby Red. She is just wandering the earth looking for a friend, has not been able to find one. I think now she thinks her friend is Quinn. And so she basically says to Quinn, don't give me OPA, just hire me and we can raise your baby together. We're having a baby. Quinn then says, oh, I'm now encouraged by what you've said. I won't run away. Charlie and Huck come in. And Quinn says, Charlie, we're having a baby. And then that's the end of that. Mellie, all dressed up in her dress. And I have to say, I don't know that she picked the best dress. It was really quite unfortunate.
It looked as if she was going to a Bollywood affair. That's what I would say.
It was not a good choice.
Shit on Bollywood. It definitely looked like Bollywood.
It was not awesome for her dinner after she was inaugurated. And then she asked Cyrus to be her date. Now, we have been seeing blips of Cyrus throughout the episode, sitting in his home in a depression, stuffing his mouth with brownies. She walks in. He's sitting there looking like he ain't showered for days. And she's like, please get dressed. You're going to be my date. And Cyrus is, of course, like, Oh, I'm so surprised when I'm brought back into the fold because I never expected. You always expect this, Iris. And so then he gets dressed and he's now her date for the dinner. Then we fast forward and we see Olivia, and we're now getting the truth of Olivia. Okay. We see Olivia pop right in to have Mellie sign her first executive order. And what does Olivia do with that executive order? She has
Mm.
Mellie unknowingly.
Yes.
Mellie has a
Yes.
blind trust with Olivia.
Absolutely.
She just hands her thing, and Mellie signs as her first act of business. She funds B613, and then Olivia says that she's going to run B613. And how do we find that out? She goes and she tells Eli Rowan Pope her whole plan. She says, I have funded B613. I'm going to run it. You're going to still be my father because I prefer that. I'd like to have Sunday dinners. And if you don't do everything that I say, or if you ever defy me, I'll kill you. And
Let me take a moment and pause right there, tonight, because that was a wonderfully crowning moment of this episode.
So good.
You know that I am a fan of the relationship of Eli Rowan Pope and Olivia Carolyn Pope. And the fact that Olivia came in and said, you've trained me, you've prepared me, I know how to do this. I've given up my life that I've created to run this next level of my nest, my Olivia nest. Daddy, thank you so much. And by the way, Dad, I love you and I want to continue this relationship that we have. I need you around in my life. And low key, Daddy, I'm not saying this because, but Mama's gonna be here too. And I get my family back. Can I tell you how this was a wonderful fix my life moment? Like, this was the fix my life moment of like the what happens next episode. Like what they did a reunion episode or a recap, and they said the Pope family is now living happily ever after. This is their happily ever after. I was so glad and warm with that entire Pope family moment.
LBJ, it's so funny how you and I experience them so differently. You have such an affection for them. And LBJ,
I do. That's what I love about this conversation, because you and I don't agree on a lot of the stuff that we say here.
We don't. And LBJ, it's so interesting because we remember when Olivia was being forced into Sunday dinner by her father, right?
Absolutely.
When
yeah.
he was the head of B613. And
he created this monster.
And we couldn't understand why he was doing it, you know? And guess what? I don't even know if Olivia knows why she's doing it, right?
Oh, she doesn't, but Rowan knows why, because Rowan, in fact, told her, she's like, Dad, remember you said something, it's easy prey? He's like, Olivia, you're not the prey. He said, you're the predator. He has created this predator and he knows it. So he's like, WTF have I done? Like, I cannot believe this. This is my reality. And now my daughter got me stuck running this whole thing.
Yeah, he has called his daughter both a disease and a predator in tonight's episode.
What he did not call her, what he needs to call her, is the hell and the high water, because that's who Olivia has become this episode.
She has gone completely to the dark side. And LJ, before we really analyze that as our closing, and as we're getting into the closing, LJ, there was one more little snippet storyline, which is Olivia. She has now made every power play that she's going to make on Inauguration Day. Okay. She has started B613. She has killed Luna Vargas. She has gotten Mellie into the White House. LBJ, she has her mother and her father where she can see them and own them and tell them what to do. LBJ, she's good. She has OPA being run by people she trusts. She's good, LBJ. So she's sitting there on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. And she meets up with Cyrus because this is a tradition that they've had. And Cyrus comes over, and Cyrus spills the beans, LBJ, when he is starting to talk about. Olivia basically says to him, it was Luna. It was Luna that killed Frankie, and Luna was the one who was trying to take, who wanted to take Mellie out. And Cyrus, in his reaction to what Olivia was sharing, and Olivia thinking she's dropped a bomb, Cyrus basically uses almost the exact same verbiage that Luna had used whenever she was making the case for why she had done what she did. And two things happen in Olivia's reaction to that. Number one, she calls Cyrus out and says, you planted this thing into her head to begin with. How dare you? Then the second thing she says is, don't leave town because I'm going to nominate you for vice president. Mm-hmm. And so LBJ, she basically says, you're evil. You can't be trusted. I'm on to you. And then she basically says, you're exactly right for the team I'm putting together. And so LBJ, that's it. You know, he asks her then, LBJ, and this is how the episode ends. He asks her, he says, how does it feel? How does it feel to be the most powerful woman in the world? And what was her response, LBJ? She said, right. It feels right. And that was how season 6 ended, LBJ. It ended with Olivia having gone completely to the dark side. And LBJ, this is the genius of Shondaland, because our heroine has now become evil. I mean,
It
all
is
this
our
time.
heroine and our hero, though, because Janiyah, remember, go back to the episode, I believe, season 4. Maybe I think season 4, maybe season 5. When her mama told her, when we met them, when we found out Olivia had a mama that was alive, and her mom said to her, she was like, Livy, you're nothing but the help. Janiyah, tonight, the help became the power. Because remember, the help was Olivia and Cyrus. Remember that conversation they had in Jefferson Square Park outside of the White House, outside of the security gate. And she was like, Cyrus, we're the help. And he was like, but the help always does blah, 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 blah. And so tonight the help became the power. Who'd have thought that the superpower would be Olivia and Cyrus?
LBJ is so
amazing.
Good.
It was so
it's
amazing.
So good. It's so good. LBJ, I feel like there was so much to dissect in this episode. And I feel like we could talk about it for 5 more years. And we have to think about LBJ. Is there a way that we engage over the summer?
It has to be in the comments in all the videos from season 6 and the years and the previous seasons. The only thing is that you got to commit to reading the video, reading the comments and responding. I normally respond on your behalf, and so we are going to hold Janiyah accountable to respond to the comments and the videos throughout the summer, because we're going to miss you guys through the summer into potentially the fall/spring when the show comes back.
That's right. We don't even know when they're going to bring it back.
Right. They just had upfronts a couple of days ago in New York. And I know from intel that they are planning to go on, I believe they're back in production this fall, which means that they'll have episodes in the can probably at the top of 2018.
I think if they're using Quinn's pregnancy, I would think that they've taped, like I felt like that was to me them saying, oh, we're taping right now in the summer because we're going to have episodes in the fall. Or maybe it was just wishful thinking. But I just thought if they're leveraging Quinn's real pregnancy, it's happening right now. The actress who's playing Quinn. But LBJ, you know what we have to do? At the end of the recap of the season finale, we do a roll call of all the characters to say where they are at the end of the season.
I forgot about that. I'm so not ready for it. You take it away first, and I'll chime in when I can.
Okay, LBJ. I think I got most of the main folks. Okay. First of all, the President-elect Vargas, he gone. He's gone. He's gone to glory.
Oh no, we know that. Yeah.
Luna Vargas gone to glory. Okay. The Vargas brother. We don't know. Somebody in the chat brought it up earlier. Where
There's an APB out for a Vargas brother. APB out for a Vargas brother.
And speaking of people we haven't seen in a while, Vanessa, where's she at? That's another one. Vanessa, where is she? Somewhere.
Nobody cares about Vanessa.
Vanessa, Jake's wife, is somewhere lost in the sauce. LBJ, let's think about B School Mike, who is Cyrus's ex-husband, ex-husband. Where he at? He's somewhere in a nice neighborhood with a nice private school for Ella to go to.
Good private school.
Good private school.
Hashtag Sidwell friends, or in Potomac where Barron is going.
And LBJ, then we have the gladiators. Where's Quinn? She's pregnant. She's going to Lamaze, and she's now the head of OPA. Charlie, he's about to be a baby daddy. Huck is sitting there skeptical. And listen, I'm going to throw out a potential plot twist right now. Is Huck going to be a baby daddy? Question mark. I don't know.
Because someone said, Dan Blakemore said, what about his facial expression when he said that, when Quinn said she was pregnant? Huck was like, whoop, well, I hit that a few times too. I don't know, I hit that, but yeah.
And then LBJ, then there's Marcus. Is Marcus about to get written off? We know at least that his current job is president of the foundation that we have confirmed is now going to be in Vermont, and that is the Fitzgerald Grant Foundation. Now, where is Cyrus? Cyrus is going to be the vice president for Mellie. Okay, where's Gabby Abby Red? Well, LBJ, she's right where we in this chat predicted she would be. She is back in OPA and Associates. Where is Lizzie Bear DeGeneres, LBJ? She's gone on to glory as well.
Just dead to the world.
Dead to the world, right along with Sandra TT, LBJ. They didn't make it very long.
Oh, Sandra TT.
That's too bad. And then, LBJ, we have our main characters now. Olivia. Where's Olivia, LBJ? Olivia is going to be the head of B613. She's going to be chief of staff, LBJ. And more than anything, she is going to be power. Where is Fitz going to be? Somewhere with residual nectar dried up on his lip. He's going to be somewhere in Vermont, canning up jam, okay, looking for Olivia, looking through, how he's going to be looking through old pictures on his phone back from when they used to be canoodling.
I really do think that Olivia, instead of having a dinosaur room, she's gonna have a jamming room, like something like her dad, and then he's gonna be the jam guy, and he'll be in Vermont waiting for her to come make some jam and mash it up. Gotta mash it up.
Yes. LBJ is so good because I truly doubt if we've seen the last of him.
We have, but here's the thing: who you didn't mention tonight out of all these people that we saw this season?
Mm-hmm.
What about the Lovers of Liberty? Sally Langston.
Sally Langston.
She will remain the moderator of her Beltway television program throughout the summer.
Yes.
And what Sally Langston will do is bring us back for season 7 of the final season of our favorite show to watch, Scandal. And we will see you back, Lovers of Liberty. Everyone, thank you so much for watching the Scandalous Scandal recap.
Oh, so good. This has been an amazing season. LBJ, there's other people we didn't get. Susan Ross, there's more characters. Where they at? We don't know.
Susan Ross, exactly. Where is Susan Ross, guys? And daughter Casey. Oh, Casey.
Yeah, where they at? But LBJ, I think we do have to just pause and say thank you to everybody. This season has been amazing. I mean, for me and LBJ, it's like so amazing to us that people really enjoy this chat and like really watch it. Like we are genuinely shocked and amazed.
Absolutely.
Because it's just so much fun and we just love it and we hope you love it. And we hope you keep watching and we will miss you this summer. And we look forward to next season already. We're already excited.
Absolutely. Listen, Janiyah is on social media. You can follow her at the Janiyah Wright, mentioned on her lower thirds, but you can also follow me at Larry Brown Jr. if you want to get in contact with us throughout the summer. Yay! As always, guys, we really do love and appreciate you for hanging out and joining us through this. We work 9 to 5s, whether we're teleworking or in the office. We work regular jobs.
And they're more like 8 to 7s. Let's just go ahead and say it.
We both have work devices that call upon us at random times of the night. Mm-hmm. And we do this as labor of love because we love watching this television show. We love talking to each other. And we also love sharing all of that with you. And so thank you guys for buckling up and riding the roller coasters of Shondaland with us. We hope and pray that the rides will continue to grow and get better this last season of Scandal. Maybe they will put the Scandal recap in the show next year, or there'll be some people who are like Larry and Janiyah on the show, or like you in the live chat on the show next year. We don't know what they're going to do, but it remains to be seen. But what always remains constant is that we love sharing this show and our thoughts and our predictions and our takeaways with you. My takeaway is that we'll all come back again for season 7, and we'll do this for one final season of Scandal. We'll have a brand new way of branding and promoting this thing for one last hoorah. It's our last go around in the park, y'all. It's our last chance.
Yeah, and I know we said this at the end of season 5, but for real this time, we're going to have better audio. No, I know at the end of season 5,
I know, right? Yeah.
At the end of season 5, we were like, we're going to have branded sets. We're going to have better microphones. We're going to have better cameras.
Let me tell you, I'm just going to get better. I said all that other stuff. We both have earphones and both have microphones this season. So we've done
That's
we've
right.
done a yeoman's job
That's
to get this
progress.
thing better. Okay.
That's
That is
right.
progress. We
Yeah.
both have microphones. This is fantastic. Thank you guys so much. All of you who are still chatting with us live. Listen, the West Coast is about to wrap in literally about 45 minutes. So if you're still up, go back, share this link with them, and then share it with the West Coast, and then tell them to comment on the video and watch the whole thing, because we are the Scandalous Scandal Recap. We're like no other recap show. We love doing this live with no script.
Yay!
It's just us and you, and we love doing this. Thank y'all so much. We love you. We will see you then. I can't say it enough. Have a great night. For all of you who have to go to work in the morning, blame us. I know you're
We're
gonna be
all
late.
going to be tired. We're all going to be tired. That's okay. It's worth
Look,
it.
I have work to do right now. We are all tired. So let's just go ahead and do it.
Okay. And LBJ, and I love you so much. Thank you for a great season.
You're welcome. I love you too, Janai. I feel like we just started season 6 and now it's over. Like just like that, it's done.
I know, but it has been so great. I love you, LBJ, and I love you, everybody. Have a great summer.
Yes, and to Mrs. Creel Davis, yes, I will kiss baby Grayson.
Aww.
Baby Grayson watches Scandal with us as well. Love y'all so much. We'll see you season 7, the final season of Scandal, the number of perfection. We'll see you then, guys.
Bye.
Bye.